Corporate social responsibility, or CSR, has become an important element played by most organizations. CSR may be referred to as corporate citizenship and can involve incurring short-term costs that do not provide an immediate financial benefit to a company, but instead promotes positive social and environmental change. However, most companies do not know how they should or can engage with their many publics. Realizing this, 28-year-old Rosemary Wahome established Beyond Profit Kenya Limited. The company offers ideas and solutions to institutions about CSR.
I'd worked initially in the NGO sector, and then I moved to the corporate world. And it was very easy to see the difference between what NGOs value and what the corporate world values, so that NGOs are more concerned about the community and improving the standard of living for the community, whereas for the corporate world, it's about the bottom line, making sure that you make as much money as you can. So having seen the difference between these two worlds, I wondered if there was a way that these two could be connected so that we could see more of the corporate world doing good and helping their communities. And that's how I stumbled onto the concept of corporate social responsibility.
At the time Rosemary was establishing her company, she was working for a non-governmental organization. Her company, though, received a lukewarm reception.
Initially, we had a challenge with convincing clients especially. The trend in Kenya is that corporate social responsibility will fall under another department. So it will either fall under marketing or public relations. And now convincing a company to outsource it has been a challenge. But the argument we use is that when you let something as major as corporate social responsibility sit under another department, there's a high chance that the employees who have been tasked to do this will either not have the time or they will not care enough to deliver as much as you'd like them to.
Since then, Beyond Profit counts the Kenya Institute of Management and Passion Biz Academy as some of its clients. When Rosemary got her first client, it proved that she had a service that could be of value to many more companies.
So the minute you've come up with an idea, to you it's the most amazing thing in the planet since sliced bread. And since you think it is the most amazing thing, you do not understand why someone else might not feel the same. So having gone out, tried it, tested it, and have someone else actually believe in what you're saying enough to pay for it, that seals the deal. It makes you realize that now you can talk about what you're doing and you can say with confidence, this is a product that's ready for the market.
Beyond Profit was formed in 2015 with an initial investment of $250,000 Kenyan shillings. According to Rosemary, the company hopes to change the mindset of most corporates that CSR is about philanthropy and charity. She also hopes that the NGOs she engages with can look at other ways of making money that is sustainable and long-term.
The biggest win for us is seeing that CSR moves to the next level and it's sustainable. Again, the trend for most Kenyan companies is leaning towards charity and philanthropy. So companies will look at CSR and think of how they can have a budget, yes, but they'll just write a check for it, give it to a children's home, which works, yes, except that now for the children's home, they have to rely on you or any other donor or good company to give them the money. So for that children's home, then there isn't much of a future. So for us, it's about now helping that children's home to find a way in which they can make money from other ways that are sustainable and more long-term. And for the company, then it's being able to engage with this community, with these people for a longer term and to build a better relationship out of it.
Before starting Beyond Profit, Rosemary was formerly employed. She worked for 2.5 years at NIC Bank as a Treasury Operations Assistant. Prior to that, she was a business development officer with the Business Mind magazine. All these positions would put her in good stead when she finally started her own venture.
When I was younger, I knew eventually I would start my own business, but I wanted to start being employed first. It's very different when you start as an employer as opposed to when you start out as an employee. So some of the experiences I've had from my previous jobs have helped me to decide on a few things that I use to date. So for instance, when it comes to hiring people, then it's a matter of making sure that by the time you're bringing someone on board, then you're able to pay that person. Not just taking someone because you've seen a need in your own company, yet you're not able to pay the person.
Let's finish up. In Rosemary's opinion, entrepreneurs need to take it one day at a time, as there will be bad and good days.
Oh, okay.
Even though there are days when she has felt like giving up, her biggest source of motivation is changing how CSR is done in the country.
Companies can understand that there's more to it than just charity. There's more to it than just probably setting up a foundation. So it goes into how you make money at the end of the day. How is it that you run your business? From how you source your suppliers to how you even pay those suppliers, how you engage with the government. Do you pay your taxes on time? Do you take care of your employees? Do you offer opportunities to probably disadvantaged people, disabled people? All these things, those are the things that you consider in CSR. And for us, we want to push CSR to a point where we can even have a society that will talk about sustainability issues and corporate social responsibility issues. That we can actually have academic institutions coming on board and saying that we want to offer a degree in this. Because right now, if you want to study CSR, you want to major in it, you have to go outside the country. And I wish we could get to a point where we can offer that right here.
One of the biggest challenges that Beyond Profit is currently facing is explaining the concept of CSR to small and medium-sized enterprises. Most SMEs think that CSR is for large corporations. However, that is not the only challenge.
The other challenge comes when you finally get the client and you've signed off on everything, but you have to be handed over to probably a department that's been handling CSR for them, or you're handed over to probably someone who has now. And that disconnect between who you have been engaging and who you now have to start engaging with, that becomes a challenge, because then you have to start a relationship again, and most times you can be met with hostility in the essence that maybe this person has been handling this docket for a while and they don't understand why we have to get someone external to come and assist.
Rosemary, though, is using unique methods for ensuring that Beyond Profit has a foothold in the market.
To get the word out on what we do, we run a weekly newsletter, which is a bit more educative to help people to understand what CSR is. So we have different topics that we discuss through the newsletter online, and we send it to our database. The other thing we do is we run a monthly talk, and this one we do in collaboration with the CSR Finance Institute in Geneva. So they help us to organize the event, and we have topics of discussion around corporate social responsibility. So for about a 3-hour breakfast, we'll talk about different aspects of it.
Rosemary, who is a graduate from Kenyatta University, is the first to admit that Beyond Profit still has a lot to learn in the industry.
We've been in operation for over a year now, and when we were sitting down to do the business plan, we'd made a lot of assumptions, which of course helped us to form the projections for what the company would be making in a year, 2 years, and 3 years. And I'll be honest to say that we are not where we thought we would be after the year. Because again, like I said, when you're the entrepreneur, you honestly believe in your idea. But before you actually get people to come on board and believe in you as much as you believe in yourself, it takes some time. So we are behind schedule. And that is what has helped us to kind of reconsider the whole business model and to look at other revenue avenues, as well as address the key issue, which is people do not understand what CSR is. And until they understand what it is and they see the real value of what comes out of it, then there isn't much we will be doing.
So what advice does Rosemary Wahome have for aspiring entrepreneurs?
For those who are looking to go into entrepreneurship, start now. The biggest mistake I did was to keep the idea within me for 3 years. So I'd seen the gap in the market and I waited until I was ready. and there's no time you'll ever be ready enough to start. So start now, start small, even if it means putting away a whole hour, probably out of a week. It's something, so that again, it also gives you time to build traction in good time. The other thing is to believe in what it is you're doing. Because again, you'll meet a lot of criticism because not many people will understand what you're doing and others will not understand why you're doing it. But it's very important that you motivate yourself enough to keep going. Finally, research. Research on the field you want to go into. Guaranteed, either someone has already started what you want to do or someone else is thinking about starting what you want to do. So you will have competition. And until you're clear enough on what you want to do and what is so special about what you're doing, you won't go